Ah, my friend, brace yourself because I'm about to give you a reality check. Attention. Your precious time is the most valuable asset you have in the game of relationships.
But what do you do with it?
You hand it out for free like supermarket samples. Then guess what? You sit there scratching your head wondering why you can't attract high-value women. Want to know the truth? I'll tell you. Giving away free attention is killing your chances. Simple as that. In this video, I'm going to smack you with the truth. Your cheap generosity with attention is what's destroying any hope of romantic success. And you know what men of value do? They protect their attention like it's gold. They don't let just anyone take it without effort. And guess what? That completely changes the game for them. I'm going to drop some uncomfortable truths on you about why you should never write it down. Never give her free attention. No more stalling. Let's get straight to the point. Number 1, you signal low value. Ah, congrats, buddy! When you hand out your attention to a woman who hasn't lifted a finger to earn it, you're not just wasting your time, you're literally broadcasting to the universe that you have nothing else important going on in your life. Know what that means? On the priority scale, you're at the bottom, like the fine print on a contract. Meanwhile, real men, the ones making things happen, are busy building their careers, creating something meaningful, following their passions, and living lives that actually matter. But you're just laying there. You give your attention away like fast food toys, easy to grab and easy to forget. Know what that says about you? That you're desperate. Because men of value aren't always available, they don't respond to messages in seconds like customer service reps. No, they have lives. And their lives don't revolve around pleasing a woman who hasn't even put in the effort to reciprocate. If you're always around, always ready for any conversation, eager to share even a crumb of interaction, what does that say about you? It says your life is one big void. It says you're not busy building anything worthwhile, that you're basically saying, hey, my attention is worthless, take it. And then you wonder why she doesn't value you, why you're in the friend zone or getting ignored. Dude, it's simple. You're showing her that your time, energy, and attention are free, and everything that's free is undervalued. Want some advice? Value yourself, man. If you don't value your time and attention, why should she? Number 2, you kill the mystery and challenge. Oh, my friend, if there's one thing human nature loves, it's what it can't easily have. It's the old story. The harder it is to get, the more interesting it becomes. But what do? You hand everything over on a silver platter, killing any trace of mystery and throwing the challenge right out the window. The woman doesn't even have to think, doesn't need to wonder what you're doing because you're always there, predictable as hell. You become that rerun nobody wants to watch anymore. High-value men? They know how to play the game. They know that creating an air of mystery is practically a superpower. These guys aren't available all the time. They don't spill every detail of their life like they're on a talk show. No, they leave room for curiosity. They make the woman wonder, what is he doing right now? Is he thinking of me? Why didn't he respond as quickly this time? This kind of thinking creates attraction. It makes her invest more because mystery fuels desire. Now, when you're always there, eager to share everything from what you ate for breakfast to the color of your boxers, what happens? You become boring, unexciting. Because predictability is the opposite of attraction. Women want to feel like you have an interesting life, something more to do than just chase them. But if you're always glued to your phone, ready to respond, you're making it clear that she's the only interesting thing in your life. And that, my friend, doesn't generate desire, it creates boredom. Want to stand out? Play with mystery. Don't reveal everything. Don't be as easy to read as a children's book. Let her wonder. Let her invest. Let her feel the challenge. Because in the end, mystery not only creates curiosity, it creates attraction. Number 3, you encourage negative behavior. There you are, once again, handing out free attention like a beggar, asking for scraps of validation. Know what happens when you do this? You're basically teaching her that no matter how she treats you, poorly, with disrespect, or by ignoring you, you'll still be there, all excited, waiting for her slightest acknowledgement. Oh, how predictable you are. And you know what's worse? This behavior is the perfect recipe for encouraging even more toxic attitudes. Because guess what? She realizes she can do whatever she wants, and you'll still be there, strong and steady, like a puppy wagging its tail. High-value men don't have time for this nonsense. They know that attention is a tool, and it should only be used wisely. Want respect? Stop giving attention to those who don't deserve it. If a woman is rude, disrespectful, or treats you like a second option, know what a high-value man does? He simply vanishes from the scene. No drama, no shouting, no long texts explaining his reasons. He withdraws his attention like turning off a faucet. And you know what? This teaches the most valuable lesson of all. Bad behavior won't be rewarded with your time. When you withdraw your attention, you send a clear message. I don't have time for this. My time is worth more than this game. And then she has two options. Either she corrects her behavior, or she loses complete access to you. It's that simple. But if you keep offering unconditional attention, without filters, without criteria, you're only reinforcing her toxic behavior. So, decide. Either you value your time and show that bad behavior has no place in your life, or you'll continue being the doormat she walks on whenever she pleases. Number 4, you put her on a pedestal. Oh, and of course, as if it wasn't enough to waste your attention, you also put the woman on a pedestal like she's the last cookie in the jar. Look closely. When you hang on every word she says, when you treat this woman like a queen even though she hasn't lifted a finger to earn that title, do you know what you're doing? You're digging the grave for attraction. You're killing any chance she'll see you as an interesting guy. Because, my friend, attraction and pedestal are like oil and water. They don't mix. There you are, giving away free attention, treating her like she's a prize you can't believe you won. And guess what? She notices. She sees that you've already surrendered. That you're there, drooling just for existing in her presence. What kind of message do you think that sends? That you value yourself? That you expect to be treated with the same respect? Of course not. What you're showing is that she doesn't have to do a single thing to win your blind devotion. Now, high-value men, these guys know what they're doing. They don't put anyone on a pedestal. They keep their attention controlled, limited, because they know their attention is precious and should be earned. This creates balance. They send the message, I value myself, and you're going to have to respect me if you want more of my time. And do you know what happens when you do this? You not only maintain her interest, but you also establish that respect is a two-way street. So, my friend, get off that pedestal you built for her. If you want to be treated like a man of value, start by treating yourself as one. If you're tired of being treated like a fool, being the guy she steps on and throws away, then it's time to wake up. Read the ebook that's linked in the description of this video. After reading it, you'll learn how to be cold and calculating, how to make zero room for disrespect, and master the art of putting any woman in her place. Stop being a doormat, stop swallowing disrespect, and start becoming the man she not only respects, but fears losing. It's time to turn the tables and get your life in order. Number 5, you become replaceable. Look at you. In today's world, where any woman gets more likes and DMs than she knows what to do with, what do you decide to do? Yup, that's right. You throw your attention onto the pile like you're just another generic guy popping up from all sides. Then you wonder why she doesn't value you? Why you become easily forgettable. Dude, it's simple. You're making yourself replaceable. Because at the end of the day, your free attention only places you as just another guy in line, just like the rest. Meanwhile, high-value men, they play on a different level. They know they don't need to be part of the desperate crowd begging for a scrap of female attention. They aren't wasting their time and energy sending endless messages or liking every photo. These men make their interactions count. They know that scarcity creates value, and that's why they keep their attention in high demand and low supply. And guess what? That makes them memorable. They aren't just another number in the infinite list of guys begging for attention. When you hand out your attention like street flyers, you turn yourself into something trivial, easy to replace. But if you treat your attention like something rare, something valuable, you stand out from the crowd. She starts to realize your presence isn't guaranteed, that your attention isn't a given, and suddenly you stop being just another guy. So, stop throwing yourself into the tide of common guys and start valuing yourself. Because, my friend, no one values what's easily replaceable. Number 6, you disrupt the chase dynamic. Let's go. Here's another classic mistake you're making. Nature programmed men to be the hunters, the chasers, right? But what do? You mess everything up and throw yourself into the chasing role before there's even a spark of genuine interest. There you are, running after her, begging for attention, while she barely notices you exist. And you think this is attraction? That it's going to get you somewhere? Spoiler, it won't. High-value men? They play smart. They don't go around handing out attention like party favors. They know how to create space, that moment of silence that makes the woman think, is he interested? Why isn't he chasing after me like all the others? And it's in that gap that her real interest shows up. Men who know their worth make it clear they're not desperate. They filter out the ones who are genuinely interested and maintain the balance in the dynamic where she feels the need to show that she's worth it. But you, with your anxiety to always be available, destroy any chance of creating this game. Instead of allowing her to wonder where you are or what you're doing, you're already there, planted like a puppy waiting for a treat. That's not attraction, it's desperation. And you know what else? You're ruining any chance of stepping out of the chaser role. So, here's the tip. Stop running after her like a madman. Let her show interest. Let her chase you a bit too. A healthy attraction dynamic is built with space, with mystery, and most importantly, with balance. If you disrupt this natural chase, guess what? You're destroying any chance of creating a real connection. Number 7, you lower your self-respect. Oh, and to top it all off, let's talk about what you're doing to yourself every time you give away free attention. You're throwing your self-respect in the trash. Yes, exactly. Every time you give your time and focus to someone who doesn't deserve it, what you're saying quietly, almost without realizing it, is, I don't value myself. And the worst part? This slowly erodes your self-esteem like a silent plague. High-value men? They wouldn't do this in a million years. These guys protect their attention like it's treasure because, guess what? They respect themselves. They know their time is limited, that their focus is precious, and they expect the world around them to recognize that. They're not going to give themselves to just anyone who shows up. And it's precisely this selectiveness that reinforces their self-respect. When you're selective about who gets your attention, you're building a solid foundation of genuine confidence and self-esteem. You're sending the message, I respect myself enough not to waste my time on nonsense. Now what are you doing? You're spilling your attention everywhere like you have nothing more important to do. And every time you do this, a piece of your self-respect fades away. And then you wonder why you don't feel confident, why it seems like nothing in your life is in place. Dude, the answer is right in front of you. You don't respect yourself, so how do you expect others to? Want to change this story? Start being more selective. Value your time and attention like they're the most important things in your life. Because at the end of the day, they are. Number 8, you block genuine connections. Look, you think you're killing it by always being present, available 24/7, starting a conversation every 5 minutes, right? Let me give you the truth. You're killing any chance of building a real connection. Because guess what? When you're always there, throwing attention like confetti, you don't leave room for her to be part of building the relationship. You end up being that easy guy who requires no effort. And honestly, what's too easy, no one values. Men who understand the game, they don't stick around all the time begging for attention. They know when to take a step back, leave that empty space so she feels the need to fill it. Because it's in that absence that interest grows. It's when she realizes you're not chasing her like all the others that the game changes. Curiosity increases, the desire to be part of the relationship intensifies. You stop being the predictable guy who's always there and become someone interesting, someone worth investing time in. Now, when you're always in control, starting every conversation, not leaving a second of breathing room, what you're really doing is smothering any chance of creating something authentic. She doesn't even have time to miss you because you're always around, always there, glued to the scene. And the result? Zero genuine connection. Just a forced interaction where you're doing all the heavy lifting. Want to build something that's truly worthwhile? Learn to step back, to create space. Let her interest grow on its own. Real connection happens when there's reciprocity, when both sides are equally invested. If you monopolize attention, you'll never know if she genuinely cares or if she's just there because it's convenient. Number 9, you hide compatibility issues. When you throw your attention everywhere like confetti at a parade, you end up creating a smokescreen that hides the real issues. Yes, that's right. By flooding the other person with attention, you prevent both of you from seeing clearly if you're truly compatible or just wasting time in a dead-end relationship. Look, when you're always present, always available, what happens is that you overshadow the obvious signs that maybe, just maybe, You two don't match that well. That lack of chemistry, those values that don't align, that irritating trait of hers that you pretend not to see. All of that gets covered up by your excess attention. You're so busy trying to please, trying to be there, that you forget to stop and assess if this relationship is even worth it. High-value men know that less is more. They don't throw their attention around anywhere because they understand that by keeping a certain distance, things naturally reveal themselves. When you're not always there smothering the relationship, it's easier to see if things really flow or if you're just forcing something. This helps avoid those long, draining relationships that, deep down, you knew were going nowhere but continued because you didn't want to face the truth. So, friend, if you really want to know if the person by your side is compatible with you, stop throwing your attention at her like it's a survival tactic. Give space. Allow the real colors to show. Because if you keep giving too much attention, you'll end up trapped in doomed relationships without even realizing what was wrong from the start. Number 10. You're selling yourself cheap. Now sit tight because this is the slap in the face you need. Want to know the raw truth? Every time you give your attention away for free with no criteria, you're selling yourself cheap. You're throwing away your most valuable asset like it's market leftovers. You become that clearance sale item that no one wants to pay full price for. And the worst part, you're showing the world that you think you're worth very little. Real men, those who respect themselves, don't do this. They know their value and aren't going to give out their attention for nothing. You know why? Because they know what they're worth. And you, there you are, desperate, begging for validation, handing out what should be earned on a silver platter. You want respect? You want to be valued? You want people, especially her, to see you as a man of worth? Then start behaving like one. Because guess what? No one is going to value you if you don't value yourself first. If you keep giving your attention to people who don't deserve it, you'll keep being that replaceable, predictable, and frankly, irrelevant guy. It's time to wake up. You're not a beggar for attention. Stop begging for a second of her time. Lift your head, respect yourself, value your attention, and make her earn it. If not, you can keep going in this pathetic cycle of disappointment, because if you don't change, no one is going to pull you out of this. Choose. Either you start acting like someone of value, or continue living as the cheap version of who you could be. The choice is yours. So what now? Are you going to keep playing that pathetic role, or are you finally going to take charge of your life? If you think you'll get something different without changing your attitude, forget it. The world is not kind to those who devalue themselves. If you don't start respecting your time, your attention, and most importantly, yourself, no one else will. Want to live at the top? Then start acting like someone who deserves to be there. Enough of selling yourself short. Enough of being the predictable guy, the disposable guy. It's time to put an end to this story of mediocrity. The power is in your hands. You either use it or continue being just another face in the crowd. End of story.